In the heart of Ghana, where the red earth stained the feet of farmers and the sun rose faithfully over palm trees, stood a village called Asas-Entum, meaning the earth has heard. The land there was generous. Yam grew as long as a man's arm. Maize stood tall like village warriors. Cassava spread its roots wide, and cocoa pods hung heavy on trees like blessings waiting to be harvested. From dawn to dusk, the people worked. Hoes sang against the soil, cutlasses whispered through weeds, and farmers returned home with loads so heavy their backs bent in gratitude and pain. Yet, when night fell and cooking fires dimmed, hunger still knocked on many doors. Asas-Entum supplied food to towns far beyond its borders. Trucks came weekly, big, noisy lorries that swallowed bags of maize, baskets of tomatoes, sacks of cassava, and crates of cocoa. The farmers waved as the trucks left, believing wealth followed them. But when school fees were due, parents counted coins again and again. When sickness came, families sold goats to buy medicine. Houses remained mud and thatch, leaking when the rains grew angry. The elders gathered one evening under the old silk cotton tree and asked the question that had no easy answer. How can a village that feeds others still struggle to feed itself? Among the villagers lived an old farmer named Kofi Dapa, whose hands were hard like tree bark and whose eyes had seen many seasons. One afternoon, he spoke to the youth. "We sell our sweat too cheaply." Middlemen came smiling, setting prices before the sun rose. They paid little, promising, "Tomorrow will be better." The villagers accepted, because crops rot, and hunger does not wait. The farmers worked harder each year, but the reward grew smaller. Their harvest left the village, but prosperity never returned with it. Kofi Dapa's granddaughter, Adwoa, had gone to school in the nearby town. When she returned, she listened carefully to the stories of the village. One evening she asked, "Why do we sell tomatoes raw and buy them back as expensive paste? Why do we sell cocoa beans and buy chocolate we cannot afford? Why do we farm together but sell alone?" The elders were silent. No one had ever asked these questions out loud. Soon after, a great harvest came, but prices collapsed. Tomatoes rotted by the roadside. Yams were fed to animals. The people cried, for their labor had turned to waste. Kofi Dapa stood before the village with a calabash in his hand. He dropped it on the ground, and it shattered. "One stick breaks easily," he said, "but a bundle does not." The lesson was clear. Their poverty was not from laziness, but from division, lack of value, and voices too small to be heard alone. The villagers began to meet. Women learned to dry and store vegetables. Youth talked about cooperatives. Farmers discussed setting prices together, not alone. Change was slow, like the growth of a palm tree, but it had begun. Asas-Entum did not become rich overnight. Mud houses still stood, and life was still hard. But hope returned to the fields, and dignity returned to the people. Elders still tell this story to children gathered around the fire. A land may be rich, but people can still be poor, when they sell their strength without wisdom. And so the village learned that true wealth is not only in producing food, but in controlling its value.